Good evening and welcome to the June 22nd, 2015 meeting of the Revere City Council. Will everyone please rise and salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Roll call of the members. Councilor Rigo?
Here.
Here. Councilor Gino?
Here.
Here. Councilor Guanasso?
Here.
Here. Councilor Haas?
Here.
Here. Councilor McKenna?
Here.
Here. Councilor Morbido?
Here.
Here. Councilor Novoselsky? Here. Councilor Patch?
Here.
Here. Councilor Reardon?
Here.
Here. Councilor Zambuto?
Here.
Here. And Council President Powers?
Here.
Here. A quorum is present. Approval of the journals of the meeting held on June 8th, 2015.
Motion to approve. All in favor? Madam Clerk, I'd like to suspend rules at this point so we can take up the operating municipal budget for 2016. One of the councilors has a previous engagement and would like to vote on that. Chairman Arrigo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, earlier tonight we had a discussion. We've had a discussion the last couple of weeks about the fiscal year 16 budget. I think some of the information that we've gotten has been underwhelming, but what we did find out is that we are going to be using some reserves, free cash in particular, this year and the next few years to balance our budget. And I have been very vocal in the past about my disagreement with that and how I view that. I think that bond rating agencies view that as a potential weakness in a local community. And I can't stress enough that free cash should be used for one-time expenses, for capital expenses, for things like filling potholes, things like buying new equipment, and to use free cash recurringly and each year to depend on that amount of money is not only going to be a drain on our reserves, but it sends out a signal that we can't balance the budget without free cash. And this isn't just me saying it. The Department of Revenue, they have a technical assistance booklet, and it says very clearly, the prudent use of free cash would be to fund one-time expenditures, capital purposes, or to replenish other reserves. And it also says that DOR recommends that free cash not be available to supplement current year departmental operations. By eliminating the expectation of additional resources later in the fiscal year to backfill budgets, budget department heads will produce more accurate and realistic annual appropriation requests. That is one thing that I have not seen in the last couple of years, are accurate and realistic appropriation requests. We, for the last 2 weeks, have gone back and forth about a profit and loss document that shows, that initially showed the city not having a surplus or a deficit, and now online there's a profit and loss document that shows the city being $5 million in the deficit in fiscal year 18. So to think that we're going to backfill a $5 million deficit in 2 years with free cash, we're kicking the can down the road. We're adding positions to this budget, and this is not a prudent use of free cash, and this is not the way that we should be operating. With that said, our committee report included several cuts that were, I believe everybody had been in attendance for those cuts, but we can go over those cuts in detail if we'd like. But I think that going forward, we need to think about how we produce a budget, the timeliness of the budget, and the accuracy of the information that we have, because when we don't get accurate information and when we don't have more detailed information from department heads about why they have increases in their budget or what a increase might help fund, we're going to be less than receptive to a lack of information. So with that, I will put the fiscal year 16 budget to committee, to the council for a vote of the full council.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make an amendment to the report that the position of Assistant Plumbing Inspector, I believe it's in the vicinity of $27,000, be eliminated from the budget.
Okay.
Call the roll.
Mr. President.
I have a substitute motion as well, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I thought I asked for a minority report before your motion.
Submit your minority report, and then we'll
Okay.
vote on the motion.
Just in the rebuttal to the comments of the chairman, talking about how fiscally irresponsible we are to be using free cash, even though the state and all surrounding cities and most surrounding cities and towns do it. The fact that this city has the best bond rating we've ever had in the history of the city should not go unnoticed. The fact that we've received, I believe the administration has received 3 budget awards should not go unnoticed. So I guess my point is that I disagree with the chairman's comments that this administration is being fiscally responsible. And I guess you can take that as my minority report.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
On Councilor Zambuto's minority report, Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino?
No.
No. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? No. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Present.
Present. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
No.
No. Councilor Zambuto?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
No.
The minority report fails.
Madam Clerk, now on my amendment to the budget as proposed by the Ways and Means Chairman.
Shall the City Council reduce the FY 2016 budget in the amount of $24,423?
Just a point of information, Mr. President. We're not voting on the entire budget, are we?
No.
Just the amendment?
Just on the amendment,
Okay.
then we'll vote on the entire budget.
Thank you.
Point of order. Point of order. The chairman's report was up. We had a minority report that failed.
I have an amendment to the chairman's report. That's all it is.
I still see it as out of order because the amendment you're putting on is something that was voted on in committee. That's part of his.
It's also part of the budget, and I'm asking to amend the budget by reducing that amount.
Okay.
Call the roll,
All right.
please.
This is to reduce the budget in the amount of $24,423, which represents the Assistant Plumbing Inspector position. Councilor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
No.
No. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito? Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
No.
No. Councilor Reardon?
No.
No. Councilor Zambuto?
No.
No. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the budget will be reduced by $24,423.
Now we'll take a vote on the budget as amended.
Mr. President, I have
State your point.
a motion to address the, I have a motion to address the reconstitution of the director's salary, the financial director's salary that was reported out, I believe, unfavorably, if I'm not mistaken, by the budget, by the Ways and Means, and to restore $10,000 to that.
It's an amendment.
To that position. There's an amendment.
Call the roll, please.
As a point of information,
is that bringing it up to 145, 135?
Restore the $10,000 is my amendment. $10,000 was
Restore,
$10,000 was, I believe,
the committee.
the committee took $10,000. I'm
Right.
asking
You
to
want to
restore
give
it.
10,000?
Restore it.
A yes vote is for the full
$20,000.
20,000 and no vote is for 10,000. A yes vote would be to restore it for the full 20,000. A no vote would be to delete it, to delete 10,000 from it, as reported out by the committee. State Councilor McKenna.
Could I just ask how much he's making right now, please?
I believe it's 123,000. So we're upping it. The committee report reflects an increase of $10,000 for additional duties as requested by the mayor. Call the roll, please. This is on
To
the
restore
amendment.
$10,000 to the Director of Finance, the CAO position, to bring that back to 143,563. Councilor Rigo.
No.
No. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas. No. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido. Yes. Councilor Novoselsky. Present. Councilor Patch.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. And Councilor Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. And
Mr.
Council
President.
President Powers.
No.
Mr. President.
No, the
Mr.
$10,000
President.
has been restored.
Mr. President.
State your point, Councilor.
I'd like to change my vote to yes.
Councilor Novoselsky changes
So
his vote to
noted.
yes.
Mr. President,
Councilor Patch.
I would like to make a motion too about the elimination of the employee at the Parks and Recreation. So, I just want to inform my colleagues, a point of information, that by eliminating that salary, that employee will be let go, and the city will have to pay workman's comp for that salary, unemployment. So I would like to put a motion in that we
You want to
put
amend
that back,
you
leave
want
it in the,
amendment to put it back. Is that
put it back.
correct?
Yes.
Call the roll.
Shall the City Council restore the Parks and Rec clerk typist position in the amount of $36,796? Councilor Rigo.
No.
No. Councilor Janino.
No.
No. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas. No. Councilor McKenna.
No.
No. Councilor Morbido.
No.
No. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
No.
No. Councilor Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers.
No.
No, it will not be restored.
Seeing no further amendments, let's call the roll on the budget.
I have a substitute motion.
State your motion.
The substitute motion is to vote the budget as written minus the 5,000-something supplies from the election department.
So your motion is to submit the budget as presented to the city council with only one cut, and that's a cut that the chairman of the election commission requested herself. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right, call the roll, please.
Substitute motion by Councilor Zambudo to reduce the budget as presented by Mayor Rizzo in the amount of $2,520. Councilor Rigo.
No.
No. Councilor Janino.
No.
No. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas. No. Councilor McKenna.
No.
No. Councilor Morbido.
No.
No. Councilor Novoselsky.
No.
No. Councilor Patch.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
No.
No. Councilor Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers.
No.
No. The motion fails.
Now we have an item here that has to be approved. It's a transfer from free cash. No, I know that.
On calendar item number 16, Council President, they,
We need to put the money in there before we approve the budget.
right. No, but 16 was adding an appropriation for
Yeah.
bonded debt and bonded
Okay.
interest.
Yeah. Call the roll.
Shall the City Council approve the use of general fund free cash in the amount of $2,591,023 to supplement the fiscal year 2016 budget? Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino?
No.
No. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hass? No. Councilor McKenna?
No.
No. Councilor Morbido?
No.
No. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
No.
The motion fails.
I changed my vote to yes.
Councilor Morbido changes his vote to yes. The motion passes.
Let's vote on it. Yeah, let's vote on it.
And then you can get the total number for the budget.
Yep, exactly.
Calendar item number 16, communication from the mayor relative to an additional appropriation for the FY16 budget in the amount of $747,544 for bonded debt and bonded debt interest.
Call the roll.
On the roll call.
Yeah, roll
Okay.
call.
Roll call on the appropriation for the bonded debt and bonded debt interest, the amount of $747,544. Counselor Rigo?
No.
No. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morbido? Yes. Counselor Novoselsky? Yes. Counselor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Reardon? Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
No.
No, the motion passes.
Oh, my calculator.
Council President has requested that we take up the budget. The total now would be $169,081,832. This represents, there's 3 cuts, $75,000 from the police budget director, $36,796 for the Parks and Rec clerk typist, $2,520 from the election department postage account. And I'm sorry, there will be 4 cuts and 24,000.
No, we're going to vote on the entire budget. We already voted on it, Tony.
I'm sorry, I have to add the, subtract the.
Take your time. We want to get it right.
Council President, I have the final number. The budget would be $169,081,832. That reflects 4 cuts that were voted on by the council, $75,000 to the police budget director, $36,796 to the Parks and Rec clerk typist, $2,520 to the election department postage account, and $24,423 that was to the assistant plumbing inspector. That brings the total again to $169,081,832 for the fiscal year 2016 budget.
Call the roll, Madam Clerk.
On the roll call, Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino? What was it? I'm sorry.
Oh, mine.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hass? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
No.
No. The fiscal year 2016 budget has been approved.
Back to regular order of business, please, Ms. Shirley.
We're going back to the regular order of business. We're going to take up calendar item number 1.
Calendar item number 1, motion of reconsideration filed by Councilor Zambudo relative to... Calendar item number 1, motion of reconsideration filed by Councilor Zambudo relative to the Economic Development Subcommittee report from the City Council meeting of June 8th, 2015.
Call the roll.
Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Gino? Is absent. Councilor Guanasso? Yes. Councilor Haas?
No.
No. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito? Yes. Councilor Novoselsky? Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
No.
No. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
No.
No. The motion will be reconsidered.
There's no debate.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I filed for reconsideration because I was hoping that I could make a case that this was a lesson in futility to send this thing to for an opinion to the Attorney General when we can get all the information we want if we just simply vote to go to executive session. So I thought I'd ask my colleagues to reconsider their original vote so that if you really want information, we can actually get it in a timely manner rather than send it and wait for an opinion that we may get in a couple of months. Thank you.
Mr. President?
Councilor Rigo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wonder to the council, why can't we have the discussion publicly? So in
If
regards
I
to
can
this,
answer,
and
Mr. President?
I'll preface that with the fact that the City of Boston and the City of Somerville, both who have lawsuits against the Gaming Commission about this, have talked to WIN representatives about traffic mitigation. We're not talking about talking to WIN. We're talking about sending a letter and asking for job preference and vendor preference and to talk about mitigation.
I don't want to
So the
interrupt
City
you.
of Boston and the City of Somerville have both taken that step to do that. So I wonder why we can't have that conversation publicly.
State your point, Councilor Rigo.
Well, I just want to respond, if
Go ahead.
you allow me to.
allow you
We've
to.
been advised by our attorneys, both our city solicitor and our outside attorneys, that this should be done in executive session so we don't hurt our litigation. That was my original point. It's still my point today. And my other point when I tried to make the case before the vote was that a job fair for jobs 4 years from now is really not worth the paper it's written on if the casino is ever built over there with all the problems and litigation. So that's my point. I don't think there's any point in belaboring this. That's why I'm going on the advice of our city solicitor and our legal counsel. Now, that's all I can go on.
Well, if the Attorney General tells us that there's no problem with having a job fair, I don't see any problem with transparency.
Mr. President,
State your point, Councilor.
I just want to address my brother's suggestion, and I don't disagree with much of what he said, but I certainly disagree with the fact that and with all due respect to our city solicitor, I don't share his opinion. I'm not sure whether or not, but I know this, that I'm not the last word on it either. I would expect that the Attorney General would certainly be able to give us the exact and proper guidance. And one point I'll agree with my brother is that, to my left, is that this is something that we're not going to see happening in a long way down the road, if at all. And I don't see the rush. What's wrong with calling up the Attorney General and saying, get back to us on this? I don't really see the problem there, and I wouldn't, I think that's the proper course.
I have no problem either. I have all the faith in the world in our city solicitor. But I think an opinion coming from the highest legal counsel in the Commonwealth would certainly negate any problems that any member of the council may have with regard to litigation. Any other councilors want to? Councilor Novoselsky.
Mr. President, I've been pretty quiet on this for most of the discussion, but, you know, I've done some research. If Mr. Wynn wanted to come to Revere and do a job fair, he can come to Revere and do a job fair without us asking him. That's number one. Number two, the people in Revere, in most cases, are covered. The people from Wonderland would get first preference at jobs, and the people at Suffolk would get first preference at jobs. I know there's a lot more people that may be unemployed but looking for work, but the writing is there. You know, I would like to do it in executive session. We're not hiding anything. It's the whole defense and letting your opponents know what's going on. If they know that we're split in our decision, then the Gaming Commission and the litigators and all the parties are going to come up against the city and say, hey, they're not even together. Why should we even listen to them? So, you know, I would like to make a motion that we go into executive session.
Anyone else?
Mr. President, this way. Hello.
Councilor Ganassa.
Well, I think that the word transparency is the most overused word in the English language. A couple of years back, this seems to be a fashionable thing to say. I never heard of transparency when a person's in litigation against one another. That's not transparency. That's, you're supposed to put your thoughts behind what your process is and go forward. I certainly don't think that we should divulge any of our concerns to Mr. Wynn. I don't think he's going to be the benefactor of a good ear listening to the people of Revere when we so hardly sought to unseat what his plans were. I don't believe in dealing with the devil. I certainly think that we ought to discuss this in further length. I think it's merit of its work. I think that obviously now we're picking up the pieces. We'd like to see people in Revere benefit from the project that goes on in Everett, if in fact it ever does. My hopeful thing is that it never does, but you know, and I'm speaking more or less from how hard and diligently this city worked to gain that effort, and we saw that the members of the commission were already predetermined in what this avenue they were taking. So why would we want to be open to these individuals and make the same determination? Why would we want to show anything to anybody other than our legal staff as to how we go forward and proceed with our case? And I don't think there's anything wrong in going into executive session. That's what we're here for. We are 11 members that are supposed to help and abide our city go forward. And I think the professional manner to do that is going to executive session. You know, everybody has the right to their opinion, and obviously there's a million different thoughts in how we proceed. You certainly know that I never heard of people that are litigating against one another open up unless you're looking for disclosure. We already know what the disclosure is. We're already told what we're looking for. So I don't see the harm in going into executive session and hearing all the sides and then go forward with a plan. I think it's beneficial to our city.
Thank you, Councilor Ganassa. Councilor Giannino.
Thank you. I believe that the Commission's already made its opinion of Revere clear, so I don't think that we're here to debate that. But you know what? It's not the Gaming Commission's job to protect the citizens of Revere. It's our job. And I think that all this motion does is protect our residents. It has nothing to say to or from the casino or in favor or against it. That is done, and we need to put a nail in it. It's over. But this protects the residents of our city that have been working in this industry for generations, and I think that we owe them that since we failed them in other ways. So I hope that this goes through, and I hope that we can at least reach out and say that we're trying. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Giannino. And it's not just the people that have been working in the industry. If, in fact, they are going to start construction over there, I'd like Mr. Wynn to know that there are construction workers in the city that are out of work, guys that are sitting in the union halls every day that need jobs to put food on their table. Call the roll.
This was on the motion from June 8th, 2015. This was to send a letter to the Attorney General. Or is this on the executive session motion? Was this a substitute motion of Councilor Novoselsky? Councilor Novoselsky, were you offering a substitute motion to meet in executive session?
Yes. So it was on the substitute.
Shall the City Council meet in executive session to discuss 15-119? Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino?
No.
No. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? No. Councilor McKenna?
No.
No. Councilor Morbido?
No.
No. Councilor Novoselsky? Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
No.
No. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
No.
No. The motion fails. The substitute motion fails. This is on the original motion. This was to send a letter to the Attorney General asking whether or not the City Council will be able to meet in executive session to discuss this motion. Councilor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
No.
No. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
No.
No. Councilor Patch?
No.
No. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
No.
No. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the motion passes.
Now we go to public hearings.
Calendar item number 2, hearing called as ordered on the application of Oxford Airport Technical Services, 47 Meacham Ave, Elmont, New York, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to convert one non-conforming use, a contractor storage yard, to another non-conforming use, a maintenance and repair facility at 885 North Shore Road.
Turn your mic on.
Yes, I did. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. President.
State your name and address, please.
Mr. President, Honorable Councilors, James Cipolletta, 385 Broadway in Revere, on behalf of the petitioner, Oxford Airport Technical Services. With me is the General Manager, Ed Jones, and we're here tonight for permission to convert one non-conforming use, which was a contractor's yard, to a repair facility. And just to give you a little bit of background of who the applicant is, Oxford ATS is actually a New York company, it was incorporated originally in New York and has been in existence for about 40 years. In about 10 years ago, it expanded its operation to Logan Airport and opened an office and repair facility there, with the major client being JetBlue. So the intention of Oxford is to leave its main facility on Logan Airport and to service its major client, JetBlue, there with regard to maintaining and repairing equipment. There is, however, a need to be off-site as well, and they've been in an off-site location in Chelsea for a number of years and now want to move to the city of Revere. And the purpose of that location would be to repair the smaller non-equipment moving, non-airplane moving pieces of apparatus. For example, the lifts that bring the baggage up to the airport sometimes need to be repaired. If they can't repair them there, they'll bring them over to a warehouse, and in this case, the proposed site on North Shore Road. Similarly, if there's a piece of small equipment that handles baggage or catering instruments, and they can't repair it there at the airport, and it needs to be retooled or something, they'd bring it back over to a smaller warehouse, leaving the airport facility at Logan available to maintain and repair the larger pieces of equipment for JetBlue. The history of the property, as I know it and have been able to research, is as far back that as we went was that it was, one time for a number of years was an oil company. Then when the oil company moved off, it became a fence company that had operated there for a number of years. And the owners of the property now have done a little bit of upgrading to it, hopefully to establish a more harmonious looking piece of property with the neighborhood in the surroundings, and also to make it more attractive to a tenant, a lessee like Oxford. Some of the things that, in speaking with the ward councilor and others, some of the neighbors as well, I've had some phone calls today and spoke to some people that they are interested in and we're sensitive to. Traffic. This is not a place that's open to the public. They have a contract with JetBlue. Their own vehicles would make trips back to the warehouse. It's not a drive-by situation, so we're not looking for people coming down off the Linway or shooting up North Shore Road at any time of the day to go to the facility. Oxford employs 14 people, a number of them from the city of Revere, and although they didn't have a facility in Revere, we applaud them for that. And I've spoken to Ed, and we've come to an agreement, and he's very sensitive and dedicated to any expansion in the city of Revere to hiring and continuing to employ residents of the city. All of the operation or the repairs of these small implements and pieces of equipment would happen inside. It's not anticipated that they're going to make any change to the building. They're cleaning up the lot. There's not going to be stuff littered around the parking area or that newly asphalted area of the building. This is an inside private operation. And to the extent that noise can be kept to a minimum, they're sensitive to that as well. This is not a place where they'd be drilling, not a place where they'd be jackhammering or using any kind of heavy equipment. So if there's any questions regarding the property or the zoning, I can answer them. Ed can answer the others.
Am I correct that everything is going to be done in the garage?
That's correct, Mr. President. Yes.
All right. I just have one thing that comes to mind. Is there any regulations with regard to conservation? That's an area that's
I actually spoke to
wetlands.
Mike Tucker about that. He and I had a conversation. I know he's the chairman.
It's right
of the,
behind you.
Right, of the ZBA, and having been he was a former member of the Conservation Commission. So I looked into that, and through the notes that I had from the site plan review, since we're not going to do anything to disturb the soil, we're not building out the building, we're not right now doing anything other than to change the activity that happens inside the building, we're confident that that does not trigger an NOI or an abbreviated NOI. I'm going to check with Andy DeSantis, make sure that that's not the case. If it is, obviously we go to Concom, but we don't intend to do any expansion right now.
Thank you very much. Any other proponents? Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this? Mr.
I
Tucker.
have questions. I think I would be in favor of it. I just question the operating hours being in a butter because of the noise, that you restrict any backup alarms. Question, there'd be no equipment storage on the outside of the part of that area. There's no additional paving being done where it's a wetland protection, and I'd be in favor.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Councilors?
Mr. President,
Councilor Reardon.
just by way of preparation, I'd suggest that the applicant discuss this matter with, and anybody who has any suggestions, discuss the matter with a city planner and/or site plan review as he sees fit.
Indeed. We did successfully finish up the site plan review, and I'm sure that if this is passed and the council sees fit to issue the permit, Frank will probably issue a number of conditions as he has in the past. But we have him in the loop.
Great. Be sure that we get them at the subcommittee level, then we can act much more efficiently.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Reardon. I'd like to this is going to subcommittee anyway, so if there are no other objections, any councilors? Zoning subcommittee.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Calendar item number 3, hearing called is ordered on the application of Angelica Cardona Ramirez, 23 Harrington Street, Revere, Mass., seeking permission from the Revere City Council to convert one non-conforming use medical to another non-conforming use coffee shop at 1-4 Orr Sq.
Proponents, state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Angelica Cardona Ramirez.
Is the mic
This is my
on?
sister Diana. And for the address of 4 Orr Square in Revere.
You explain what you're looking to do
Yes,
there?
we are looking to rent the place, the property, and open up a coffee shop. And that used to be a medical office for several years. And we would like to change the occupancy from medical office to coffee shop.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Anyone in support of this? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Any opponents? Come up and state your name and address, please.
I guess I will start first. My name is Catherine Prifty. My address is 69 Elm Street, and I'm opposed to this motion. I'm going to start first by saying that the reason why we're opposed to this is because Bagel Bin is the neighboring, right next door to this coffee shop that's trying to convert from a medical to a coffee shop. Bagel Bin has always been a historic place on Shirley Avenue, and my father and our family has been very involved with Revere and its community here. Just to name a few, we've been very, very vocal about and very supportive of the local schools, the high school, the sports clubs, police departments, fire department, any youth activities. It's not my intent or our intent to stop the growth in Revere, but adding another business on that same location next door will not only hurt this neighborhood, but it would hurt one of the businesses that have been an integral part of Revere. Furthermore, I think it's going to be difficult for traffic concerns there in that location. There's already a popular breakfast place there on 207 Shirley Ave, and by adding another restaurant, it's going to congest the area even more. Furthermore, parking is very difficult in that specific location, so adding another restaurant right next door, again, is going to congest the parking. Not only is there no need for another coffee shop there because there are several on that line, so we don't think and we oppose the motion. Dad?
All set? Name and address, please. Name and address.
Hansi Vladesi, 69 Elm Street. We get a lot of different types of, we have all walks of life that come to Bagel Bin. We have all types of walk that come to Bagel Bin. We have from people who have no money to people who are running for president. And my father has treated every single person with utmost respect. And people come back just because my father has instilled that type of family atmosphere in that restaurant. And through that, he has built a bond between him, the Bagel Bin, and the people and the businesses around. And with our passion that we have, bringing the best food, bringing everything there, by opening another restaurant there, it's going to be very hard for us to keep going the way we are, helping community, helping, doing everything like that. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you.
No other opponents? Opponents? Against? No, against. Okay, hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Councilor Haas has a question.
It's going in committee, so I
It is going to
defer.
committee?
Yeah, I'll defer.
Okay.
Right.
Zoning subcommittee.
Calendar item number 4, hearing called is ordered on the application of 1141 Revere Beach Parkway Realty LLC, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to operate a fast food takeout drive-in restaurant, a car wash, and for the use of the existing non-conforming rooftop sign at 1141 Revere Beach Parkway.
Proponents.
Thank
State your name and address, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. My name is Attorney Emilio Favorito, 7 Dawes Street, Boston. I have with me Mr. Oh, certainly. I have with me Mr. Joseph Coppola representing the property owner and the proponents. The location at 1141 Revere Beach Parkway, we are seeking to convert the existing building, not adding any additional square footage at all. The footprint would be utilized exactly as it is. The existing building is 1 story for most of its length, 2 stories in the front section where something along the lines of a convenience store, which is an allowed use, or another type of service store, which would be an allowed use in that location. The 2 additional uses being sought within the structure do require special permits. One is a drive-through coffee shop, and the other is a drive-through car wash. There is an existing rooftop sign. We are not referring to the large billboard that's also located adjacent thereto. Atop the 2nd-story structure, there's an existing sign. We're seeking to continue the utilization of that. As to whether or not a special permit was actually required for that, there was a difference of opinion. I was actually advised by the city solicitor that a special permit would probably not be required, but we're preferring to play safe and request that as part of our petition.
This is you're talking about where the Plaza Garibaldi is?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to get that straight in my head.
2 other points I would just like to make is that all mandated queuing requirements are being met on the site, and the parking requirements are being exceeded by 67%. The zoning code requires 21 parking spaces. We are providing 35. Any questions?
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here? Any other proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents?
Mr. Chairman, is this going to committee?
It's going to committee.
Because I do have questions, but I'll
Okay.
speak on committee. I'm questioning the signage.
Come up, state your name and address, please. This is going to committee. Anybody, state your name and address.
David Bright, 286 Fenno Street.
Where?
286 Fenno Street.
Okay.
Marcia Newberry, 286 Fenno Street.
You want to be recorded as opponents? Opponents. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Ma'am?
Elaine Jones. Elaine Jones, 286 Fenno Street.
Yep. Okay. Councilors, if there's no objections, I want to send this right to zoning. Zoning subcommittee. What is, yeah.
Abby Furter, 300 Fenno Street. I'm
Okay.
in a butter.
Okay, this will be going to the zoning subcommittee, which Councilor Reardon chairs, and
And how can we address them to show?
we can notify them.
They have to check with the clerk's office as to when
Yeah, yeah, and it'll be advertised in the paper too. No?
on the city's website, or they can call the city clerk's office.
I can call the city clerk's office and find out when they're having a meeting and be able to speak against it? Okay, that's fair enough, thank you.
All right, zoning subcommittee.
Calendar item number 5, hearing called is ordered on the application of Peter Latanzi Jr., 166 Winthrop Ave, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to construct a 1-story rear addition for the expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use, a professional office, at 166 Winthrop Ave.
State your name and address, please.
Peter Latanzi, 166 Winthrop Ave. Thank you, Council President, members of the council. I'm the owner of 166 Winthrop Ave. We've had a commercial building there, and I also own and operate Latanzi Insurance Agency. We've been in business in Revere for 41 years this year, and I'm looking to basically square off the back of the building that I have now. I'm looking to square it off, which would add 661 square feet of office space, 1 story. I am not going any further to the right or to the left or any further in the back. We have 11 parking spaces now in the back of the building. And I'm basically taking a deck that is used to come for access into the building, and I'm going to be enclosing it and adding some office space. I did take the architect here, John Lloyd, if you had any questions.
This will be going to zoning subcommittee. Are there any other proponents here? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Councilors, Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to save my comments, obviously, for the zoning subcommittee, but I just wanted to speak to the character of Peter Lattanzi, and we all knew his father, and we loved him, and this guy's a chip off the old block, and he's been a great businessman for many years here in the city, and whatever he's doing, I'm going to support. Thank you.
I think we're all, aware of your character, and we're all in agreement.
Thank you, Council.
This is going to the zoning subcommittee.
Calendar item number 6, hearing called is ordered on an ordinance amendment of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere relative to the regulation of dogs.
Proponents. State your name and address, please.
L. Baker, 369 Rice Avenue. I'm here as a proponent on behalf of the Revere, West Revere Dog Park Group. The West Revere Neighborhood Group has been working towards implementing a dog park in West Revere on the Sargent Street off-ramp. They've been put together a proposal to submit that to Mass DOT. So we're in favor specifically of the increase in the dog licensing fee. Yes. The additional funding in the dog license fee will allow for maintenance and landscaping of the dog park.
Thank you very much. We'll hold the questions for a minute. Are there any other proponents? Just show of hands. That's good. Okay.
Just an exclusion. I hope that service animals, they're going to still do for nothing. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any more proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. This will be going to Councilor Zambudo's Committee on Legislative Affairs.
Calendar item number 7, hearing called is ordered on the petition of Verizon on a joint pole location on McCoba Street for 85 Ward Street.
Although I already know it, state your name and address.
Good evening, Mr. President. For the record, my name's Everett Bryan. I'm a right-of-way engineer with Engineering and Data Solutions, representing Verizon New England at 459 Main Street in Saugus. Our petition this evening is to place one jointly owned pole, number 7.5, on Ward Street to serve number 83 Ward Street. A new building is under construction at this time. All the utilities will be rising on this particular pole. The adjacent poles were unsuitable for using for this purpose, so we need to place a new pole to get the services into this new property.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Any other proponents? Hearing none.
Is there any way I can add a poll to this?
We're going
No?
to hear the proponents, opponents,
sorry.
and councilors. Any opponents? Hearing none, we'll close that side of the hearing. Councilors. Councilor McKenna.
Is there any way I could add a poll to this? Verizon has this pole. It's number 76 on Winthrop Ave. It's a double pole with cement on the sidewalk holding the poles together. There's all kinds of debris gathering around this, and also some greenery, plants, not plants, but trees and stuff. So is there any way you can look at that and see if we can remove it or fix it, or, because it's
I'll be happy to report that to the construction department to look at it and see if they can't correct the situation and see who's
It's number 76. The poll's number 76
on Winthrop.
on Winthrop Ave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McKinnon. Councilor Ganasso.
Yes, germane to the location.
I understand that,
Thank
but I
you.
sort of,
I understand that too,
The young
Mr.
lady
President.
here had a
I
question.
understand, but it's 85 McCoba Street we're talking, Mr. Bryant. Maybe I should talk to you. Is this going to be on the same side of the building that is being constructed, or is it going to be across the street?
It's going to be the same side where the building is being constructed.
Same on the same side, in front of that project, rather than across the street.
Exactly. It'll be in line with the poles on that same side of Ward Street.
Because I am very much opposed to this site, but I have no recourse but to vote for this particular thing. Not due respect to you, sir. It's just that the whole proposal I'm not for, but as long as it's on the same side of that street, that's fine with me.
thank you, Mr. Bryant. Any other proponents? Proponents, hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Zoning Subcommittee.
Mr. President, one question. Is this one pole or 3 poles?
It's a single pole to serve number 83 Ward Street.
That's good.
I'm looking at 3 locations on the plan. Which one is it?
Pole number 7.5.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. President, with all due respect, I think we should. You know, with all due respect
I'm going
to
to
the
defer to the
council.
ward councilor.
I can understand that, but, you know, they've been waiting to do this. You know, I know he's against it, you know, but, you know, we're not holding them up. They're still continuing to do their work there. And, you know, we know we're against the building, but with all due respect, you know, they're just trying to do their job and putting in one pole.
Thank you,
I think we
Councilor
ought to move on it
Novoselsky.
tonight.
Councilor Ganasso?
All due respect, Council, I understand what you're saying, but as long as I can delay the process of this traffic impact that's going to be created in my ward, it's already impacted by all the new businesses that we attracted to that site. We're only adding insult to injury with this new construction. It's got nothing to do with Mr. Bryant. What it is in my process is just to delay it, because once those cars hit the streets of Ward Street, forget it. You won't even be able to breathe down there. And I represent the people of that area, and they're very, very, very much opposed to this development. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Ganasso. Yes, sir. On behalf of who?
My name is John O'Connor. I'm with the Dolben Company, Director of Development. And the reason I'm here tonight is to make sure the poll gets approved or voted on, because we are running into a timeline where new permanent power is going to be in need for occupancy. And we don't understand why there would be a need to slow it down. All the traffic mitigation was dealt with prior to the approval of this project.
It's up to the ward councilor if he wants to, you know.
Mr. President,
Councilor Zambudo.
with all due respect, we permitted this project. You do not hold up a pole.
I didn't permit. I didn't vote for it, so I'll make that
I
clear.
don't
When you
care
say
whether
we.
you voted for it or not. We're either a professional body here or we're or a bunch of thugs. We either, when we permit something.
Wait a minute.
When we permit something.
Professional, I represent the people of Ward 3. Is that professional?
If you're
people of Ward 3
you're
didn't
going to
want
put
it.
the city in a lawsuit.
Professional would be not to have voted for it in the first place.
Yeah. Well, you voted for BJ, sir.
Point of information, I am not a thug.
I don't think
I
any of us
agree
are
with
thugs.
that. I agree with that. But nevertheless, I'm sure they can put this pole on their own property and go forward without, but I don't want to set a precedent that we issue special permits and then we hold up the electricity to the building. We either do one or the other. You vote it down when it comes up. Once you vote the project forward, let it go forward.
Councilor, I wish you'd stop saying "we" because I didn't vote for that project. What's
Point of
the,
information,
Councilor Patch?
yeah, I kind of, I didn't vote for either. I wasn't, 8 years, that was like, what, 10 years ago? When was this? Before my time. I've been a counselor 8 years, BJ's, whenever BJ's came in. But whoever was on the board at that time, council, did vote for it. And, you know, the majority of the council voted for it. And, you know, I don't understand. It's been done. Pardon me? Well, so then, yeah, we already.
Point of information. It had a point of information, Mr. President.
State your point.
There had to be at least 8 votes for a special permit. Who are we kidding here?
I'm not kidding anyone. I myself and Councilor Koala did not vote for it.
Sir, the body voted for this project. Let it continue.
Call the roll, please. Take it up for vote.
Shall the City Council approve the petition of Verizon to install a new jointly owned pole for service at 83 Ward Street? Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Gedino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
No.
No. Councilor Haas? No. No? No. Councilor McKenna?
Present.
Present. Councilor Morabito?
No.
No. Councilor Novoselsky?
With all due respect, yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
No.
No. Councilor Reardon?
No.
No. Councilor Zambuto?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
I'm going to support the ward council, and I hope he'll do the same in the future. No.
No. The petition has been denied.
Could I say something, Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Rather than deny the petition, could we withdraw the petition without prejudice at this time?
Pardon me?
Could we withdraw the petition without prejudice at this time, or is it already voted?
It's already been voted. That would have had to been done prior to the vote. Next item, please.
Calendar item number 8, hearing called is ordered on the proposed loan order for CWSRF planning project number 3956 in the amount of $1.7 million for the SSES Phase 7 investigations.
Proponents? What I'm going to do is go through all of these, and then we'll vote on them after. State your point. Proponent, go ahead.
Nick Lystrom, City Engineer, 53 Genesee Street. I'm a proponent for this loan order, as these funds are necessary for the city to remain in compliance with the federal consent decree. These funds will be used as planning money to then drive future rehab and construction in fiscal year 17, which would be Phase 7 of our consent decree work. It's necessary because we require planning in order to then determine what level of repairs and rehab are then required of the system as a whole.
Are there any other proponents?
Yes, my name is George Anzoni. I'm the Director of Finance for the City of Revere. I reside at 141 Fenley Street, Revere, Mass. And I'm a proponent of the $1.7 million that is a CWSRF planning project number 3956. The main reason for that is because the city needs to remain in compliance with our consent decree, and according to the work that is projected to be done here, it's along what needs to be done in our consent decree with the DEP, the DOJ, and the EPA. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. We'll vote on this all together with the other loan orders.
Mr. President?
Councilor Rigo.
Just want to make one point of information. Earlier this year, the City Council passed an amendment to the city ordinances that would require, before the vote of any bond authorization, that we be given projected budget schedule, a projected budget schedule, an updated debt schedule detailing all bonded debt incurred by the city, and before the vote on, or the final vote on any bond authorization, that we would get a debt service schedule detailing the future financial impact of any bond authorization. We don't have that information. I know this is the first bond to come up after we pass that motion, but I do think that we passed that motion for a reason, and it would be something that we should, it's information that we should have before we take any votes. I will defer to the president whether or not he wants to take this up for a vote tonight, but I just want to remind the council that we did unanimously pass this motion that we get a little bit more information, and especially the projected budgets of the bond authorizations that we have. We have $18 million of bond authorizations before us, and I think before we just pass them without that information, it might be helpful. So just a point of information.
I think your point is well taken, and I think, but the problem is, I believe we have to vote on these before the end of the fiscal year, don't we? Okay. So, that puts us sort of behind the rock and a hard place. All right, we're going to. Okay. All right, let's call the next one. What is the next one?
Calendar item number 9, hearing called is ordered on the proposed loan order for CWSRF planning project number 3.
What? Okay. Proponents.
Mr. President,
state your
point of information.
State your
What
point.
happened to the loan orders?
We're going to vote.
Excuse me. What happened to the loan orders? What do we do with it?
All at the end. All at once. We're going to vote on them separately, but all at once.
Okay, thank you.
All
That's
right.
all we ask. Very simple.
Okay, we're not, there's transparency here, Counselor. Be nice, be nice. Okay, did you state your name and address?
Nick Rystrom, City Engineer, 53 Genesee Street. I'm here to speak as a proponent for the loan order, which would be for illicit connection investigations for the CWSRF 3957. This money is planning money, which would be used for primarily sump pump and otherwise inflow investigations, which would then drive those removals related to sump pumps and other miscellaneous inflow.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents?
Yes. My name is George Anzoni. I'm the Director of Finance for the City of Revere. I am in favor of this as a proponent for the CWSRF Planning Project 3957 for $800,000 for illicit connection detection planning and inspections. Again, the necessary use of this money is so that the City of Revere remains in compliance with the loan order, with the consent decree for the with the EPA, DEP, and the DOJ. Remembering too that the resolution also has to be passed for all 4 of these along with the loan order. So I'm in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. This will, we'll vote on this later on.
Calendar item number 10, hearing called is ordered on the proposed loan order for CWSRF construction project number 3958 in the amount of $13,450,000 for the construction of stormwater and wastewater collection systems capital improvements.
Nick, please.
Nick Rystrom, City Engineer, 53 Genesee Street.
We know who you are.
I'm here to speak on, as a proponent for this loan order related to collection system rehab, CWSRF 3958. This monies would be for major construction efforts related to rehab of primarily our collection system. This would be Phase 6 work, and what the work that would be done is based on the planning and investigation work that was done this year ongoing. As a point also, and I should have stated this for the previous loan order, but this is also money that's necessary, work that's necessary to be done in order for the city to remain in compliance with the federal consent decree that we are under.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents?
Yes, my name is George Anzoni. I'm the Director of Finance for the City of Revere. I live on 141 Fenley Street in Revere, and I'm in favor of the construction CWSRF construction project 3958 for $13,450,000 for construction of stormwater and wastewater collection systems capital improvements. The passage of this is necessary to be in compliance with our consent decree with the DOJ, EPA, and DEP. And in order for us to have that done, we need this loan order plus the resolution with it to be passed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Councilors? Go ahead.
Calendar item number 11, hearing called is ordered on the proposed loan order for CWSRF construction project number 3959 in the amount of $2.9 million for construction associated with illicit connection removals.
Mr. Rystrom?
Nick Rystrom, City Engineer. Here to speak as a proponent for loan order for illicit connection removal program, CWSRF 3959. This is monies that would be used for construction purposes, monies that also, construction that would be dictated by the investigation work that's ongoing this year. It's driven by this year's investigations. It would be primarily sump pump and inflow related investigations. Also, as a point of interest, on a regular basis, per order of the council, myself, the DPW superintendent, and also the director of planning and community development regularly meet to discuss the work related to the consent decree, and so I'm here as a proponent and have the ability to speak on behalf of that small group that is overseeing this work.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents?
My name is George Anzoni. I'm the Director of Finance for the City of Revere. I live at 141 Fenley Street in Revere, Mass. I am a proponent of CWSRF construction project number 3959 in the amount of $2,900,000 for the construction associated with illicit and connection removals. Again, the reason for this expenditure is so that the City of Revere will remain in compliance with our consent decree with the DOJ, EPA, and DEP. This plus the resolution needs to be passed in order to have these funds made available. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other proponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? Close that side of the hearing. Councilors? Councilor Haas.
Thank you. Maybe I should address this to Nick. As far as the illegal hookups we have in the city, you know, we sent out notifications to all the people, the homeowners, et cetera, especially in Ward 6. How's that progressing?
So we have the first of our construction jobs is out on the street. We have a contractor on board ready to start that work.
Is it any of this money here attributed to that?
Yes. So there is investigation 3957. That would be some of the planning money that would be used to investigate and determine more of those types of connections.
Okay, that's the investigation we're talking about.
Yep, and then also construction loan order 3959 is monies that would be used then to do the actual work to remove those types of connections that we had found previously.
Is the amnesty program over?
No, it's not. The amnesty program is in effect up through December 31st of this year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Councilor Haas. Councilor Reardon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm kind of coming down on with Councilor Arrigo on this issue about getting these loan order proposals at the 11th hour. You know, I know when we've talked about these ad infinitum amongst ourselves here, but I think the public needs to know what the next phase is, what's going to happen next. I mean, really, I think some people might consider it kind of a song and dance, but I don't. And I don't think the public should be deprived of the ability to have you guys come up here for an hour or so and just explain to them what's going on, rather than say, come up here, let's rubber stamp this, what, we got almost $19 million. It sounds like a lot of money to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I think in the future, obviously we have to vote for this. We know that we're ordered to do it by the consent decree. We know it, okay? Those people out there, they hear of it once or twice a year, and someone is going to perk up and say, hey, wait, that's $20 million. I'd like to think that we have a way to explain to them what they're getting for their money, even if they're really getting a bunch of pipes. Or reline pipes, or a better service of the system. They need to know that. And I'd ask that you guys, these are round numbers here. We're not talking about a single piece of pipe that we had to figure out at the last minute. These are round numbers that we're borrowing, and we need to know, we should be able to get those figures before us at the end of May, not the end of June, so we can have a qualitative hearing rather than being here on a night when we've got public hearings coming out of our ears and all sorts of other business going on, including the budget. So my admonition would restrict simply the next year, when we got to do this again next year, let's get it a little earlier, okay? Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Any other councilors want to speak on this? Okay. Madam Clerk? Take them one by one. Yeah, one by one.
Shall the City Council approve the loan order for CWSRF Planning Project number 3956 in the amount of $1.7 million? Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the loan order has been approved. On the resolution for CWSRF number 3956, Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the resolution has been adopted.
The next one.
On the loan order for CWSRF Planning Project number 3957 in the amount of $800,000, Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes.
Sorry.
Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the loan order has been approved. On the resolution for CWSRF Planning Project number 3957, Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the resolution has been adopted.
Call the next one, please.
Shall the City Council approve the loan order for CWSRF Construction Project number 3958 in the amount of $13,450,000? Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the loan order has been approved. On the resolution for CWSRF Construction Project number 3958, Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the resolution has been adopted.
Call them, I think there's one more.
On the loan order for CWSRF construction project number 3959 in the amount of $2.9 million, Counselor Rigo?
No.
No. Counselor Janino is absent. Counselor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Haas? Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the loan order has been approved. On the resolution for CWSRF construction project number 3959, Counselor Rigo?
No.
No. Counselor Janino is absent. Counselor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Haas? Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
The resolution has been adopted.
Okay, I'd just like to make one thing clear, and I agree with my colleagues. I would like to see these loan orders coming up here so that we can look at them in the future and understand them and maybe explain them to our constituents, because we voted on $18 million in loan orders tonight, okay? And I'd like to see some information that's pertinent to those loan orders so that I can go home and say to my family, when they say to me, why did you vote to spend $18 million tonight? I'd like to be able to tell them. I have a good idea why, because we're under a consent order, okay? But I'd like them to come up here a little early, send them to committee, be discussed. That way there we all have an idea of what's going on up here. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilor Patch.
I also agree with you that I would have liked to have seen some information on these loan orders. Is there any way that we're going to are you going to put a package together and get us some information?
What we have been talking about is, if I may, what we've been talking about is that same idea. We should have, at certain periods, and we're trying to schedule this, but with everything that's going on, is that we should set certain periods that where we come before the City Council and bring you up to date on the consent decree and what we're spending the funds on, what the city is spending the funds on. So I'll ask you to make a schedule and, say every 3 months or every 4 months, whatever you'd like. Submit to me the schedule and the date. I'll put the engineering firm and the attorney on notice. These are the dates, and we'll have a scheduled meeting so that we know at that time there'll be a scheduled meeting so that we can bring up the City Council up to date on both the consent decree and what the money is being spent on.
Yeah, we just want to know, if you're going to be coming up to for $3 million, $5 million, whatever it is.
Right. Okay.
We want a little advance notice.
I agree.
And then we can schedule a meeting and,
I agree. But if you'd like a meeting after this, just tell me the date and time of the meeting, and I'll make sure the attorney and the each engineer.
Okay, fine.
I agree with that.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, committee reports.
Calendar item number 13, report of the appointment subcommittee meeting.
Councilor Ganasso.
Mr. President, early this afternoon, the appointment subcommittee met. We had the following agenda before us. The first was a reappointment of C.J. Doherty, Inc., 41 Locust Street, Medford, Mass. as a licensed drain layer. To the best of my knowledge, I think it's the second meeting in a row that this organization has not come to the forward for this meeting, so I ask that we table it one more time, and after that, we ask the city clerk to remove the name from the list.
It'll be tabled.
Next is a reappointment of Michael Bonanno, 85 East Mountain Avenue, Revere, to the Cultural Council. That was voted out favorably. Appointment of Linsky Excavating Company, 47 Jefferson Ave, Salem, Mass. as a licensed drain layer. That was voted out favorably. The reappointment of Vincent Carboni, 19 Stonecrest Drive, Saugus, as a constable. That was also voted out favorably. Reappointment of Richard Petty, 35 Salem Street, Medford, to the Revere Resident Monitoring Committee. That was voted out favorably. A reappointment of Michael Tucker, 9 Ellington Street, Revere, Mass., to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and that was voted out favorably. A reappointment of Justin Capitalupo, 10 Cary Ave, Revere, to the Historical Commission. Mr. Capitalupo did not appear, so I asked that be tabled. Reappointment of Jeffrey Perlman, 20 America Way, Salem, Mass., to the Historical Commission. That was voted out favorably. And lastly, we had the reappointment of Rose Napolitano, 250 Cushman Ave, Revere, to the Historical Commission. I ask if there's no objections, Mr. President, that these all be voted out, one vote favorably. Thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Shall the City Council confirm the appointments as reported by Chairman Guanasso? Councilor Arrigo? Yes. Yes. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito? Councilor Morabito, yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes. The appointments have been confirmed.
Mr. President, point of order.
State your point.
Mr. President, we have a department head here that has the late communication. Can we hear him first, please, before we go into motions and communications?
Yeah. Suspend rules.
Late communication from the mayor relative to a proclamation declaring August 7, 2015 as Purple Heart Appreciation Day.
Did you want to speak on this?
Nicholas Boer, Director of Veteran Services in Revere, 1 Revere Beach Boulevard. Mr. Chairman, this resolution is submitted to the council for their approval. On August 7th of each year, Purple Heart recipients are honored for their war wounds, and we wish to have a ceremony this August 7th. And once this ceremony is performed by having as many veteran Purple Hearters there as possible. So I submitted the resolution actually 2 weeks ago, and I was hoping it would be on the agenda for this evening, and somehow it got slipped. It has to be approved. Next meeting, I understand, is the 29th of July. So it doesn't, we have to be approved as a Purple Heart city, and the military order of Purple Heart would come down to the city and make a presentation and recognize us as a Purple Heart community. So we're trying to get as many communities in Massachusetts. We have several so far, but we want to try to get every single community in the Commonwealth to be a Purple Heart city to honor all those who serve for us.
Thank you, sir. Any councilors?
August 7th, yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Yeah. Motion approved.
Calendar item number 14, communication from the Department of Planning and Community Development relative to a proposed zoning map amendment on American Legion Highway.
Order to a public hearing.
Calendar item number 15, communication from the mayor relative to free cash utilization for the FY16 budget, free cash transfer to the stabilization fund, and free cash water and sewer transfer to the water and sewer stabilization fund.
Call the roll.
Shall the City Council approve a transfer in the amount of $2,074,686.95 from General Fund free cash to the General Fund stabilization account? Councilor Arrigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the transfer has been approved. Shall the City Council approve a transfer in the amount of $1,557,753.75 from the Water and Sewer Enterprise free cash to the Water and Sewer Stabilization Account? Councilor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambuto?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the transfer has been approved. Yes. Calendar item number 17.
Just for clarification, communication from the mayor requesting approval of the FY 2016 sewer rates. It should be water rates because we don't approve the sewer rates. Superintendent of Public Works does that.
I had them retype it today. It's downstairs in the office. Okay. Shall the City Council, in accordance with Section 13.04.130 of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere, establish a water rate of $3.82 per 100 cubic feet for residential owners and $5.84 per 100 cubic feet for commercial owners, effective for billings as of July 1st, 2015? Councilor Rigo?
No.
No. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor McKenna? Yes. Councilor Morabito? No. Councilor Novoselsky? Yes. Councilor Patch? Yes. Councilor Reardon? Yes. Councilor Zambuto? Yes. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the water rate has been established. Yeah.
Motions.
Calendar item number 18, motion presented by Councilor McKenna that the mayor request the Revere Police Department to monitor and enforce traffic regulations, including excessive speeding from the end of Crescent Avenue to the Julia Ward Howe Residential Housing Complex, and at the end of Pearl Avenue to Orchard Street from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m.
Councilor McKenna.
Well, we, for the last, say, 10 years, we've had an increasing amount of traffic come through these two streets, Crescent Ave and Pearl Ave, from Winthrop residents that are cutting through to go to Boston, Route 1 and Route 16. What's happening is they're coming in at 7 o'clock when children are walking to school. Excessive speeds. There's only one stop sign, so they got full way of, these streets. Also, what's happening is residents can't even cross the street there because you have excessive traffic. Excuse me, and these cars are speeding down these streets. So what I'm suggesting is my concerns and the residents' concerns are to have a police car, not just for one day, but to stagger the days in each Crescent Ave and Pearl Ave to just make sure these people get a warning or maybe ticketing.
Thank you, Councilor McKenna. Councilor Rigo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I want to congratulate Councilor McKenna on a great motion. I know that this is a quality of life issue for folks down in the Crescent Ave area. I do have one friendly amendment that we include the repainting of the lines at the end of Crescent Avenue, because those lines have not been repainted in quite a while. And folks, if you watch people driving down there, folks tend to kind of cross over into the different lanes. So they do need to be repainted in addition to the enforcement of speeding. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Calendar item 19 is next. Read it, please. Speak on, who wants to speak? We're still on 18.
Hi.
Sir.
Hi, my name is Salvatore Domino. I'm at 228 Crescent Avenue. I bought the house 20 years ago, and since I've been on that street, it's gotten mean and harsh. It's just one traffic at Sumner Street, one stop sign at Sumner, especially in the morning. I try to back my car out to go to work. I used to be a teacher in Revere, now I'm in Boston, and the people are, they come in flying. They're cursing at me like, hey, I'm trying to back out of my own driveway. And the speed limit is 25, but they hit 25 in 4 streets. They're already, by the time they hit down the bottom of the street, they're going 40, 45. And you know, we live in a hurry society where everybody's late for everything, and we've become a cut-through because I don't know if anyone knows Winthrop. You try getting out of Winthrop, you can't. So we have become the access, cut through Beachmont.
Thank you, sir. Your conversation is well taken. Sir.
Bill Terrell, 215 Crescent Ave. Been there for almost 12 years. I have to say, first off, thank you guys for taking the time. We've been late. Joanne, thank you. Can you hear me? Joanne, thank you very much. I'm just going to ask if we can take politics off the table on this one. We have fathers, grandfathers here, teacher, you know, soon-to-be father and everything. This is a public safety issue. The late Richard Penta really tried to take care of this before he got sick. He put some temporary, he was working with the Traffic Commission, put some temporary conditions in there that kind of got taken away. But I know this is probably going to get tabled to the Traffic Commission, but I'm going to ask you guys to really talk to the Traffic Commission, take the politics off the table. It's a public safety issue. As my neighbor Sal just said, last night we were standing there and we were talking at the end of my driveway, and it's in Joanne's you know, motion is great, but it needs to be expanded. It's not just coming from Winthrop, it's coming from Revere also. They're flying both ways to get to Winthrop. We were standing there last night, guy was flying, we just kind of, you know, tried to flag it down, and the guy sped up, gave me a nice gesture, and then proceeded to run the stop signs. There is an issue, the chief knows there's an issue. I don't know if you guys know this street, I think you guys all know the street we're talking about. You come up from Winthrop, from the Short Beach, you get up to Sumner Street. From Sumner Street down to the Douglas Cummins Park where Julia Ward House is. It's about 2/10, almost a quarter of a mile long. There is no stop signs in between there. I've watched motorcycles pop wheelies and go straight down, all the way down to the park. I've watched them fly, the buses. You can't get out of your driveway. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, who's here, lives across the street. We can't cross our children because they're just flying. And it's not, I know Joanne put in here 7 to 9, but it isn't just 7 to 9. It's all day long, 7 days a week. Last night, 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, they're flying. So I just ask you, take the politics off the table, contact the Traffic Commission, have them keep an open mind. It's a public safety issue and quality of life. That's all I'm going to ask you guys to do.
Sir, I know the area well. I lived down there for 10 or 12 years. We'll send a request to the police department to monitor the area and perhaps write some tickets down there. That's the only thing that people understand.
The chief has been great. When Richard Penta was trying to help out here, the chief was right on board. He put a cruiser down there. They put the traffic speed limit, but those are temporary things. There has to be more permanent signage, stop signs installed if this is going to get taken care of.
That should be easy. Stop signs. That should be easy.
Furthermore, it is Winthrop a lot, and I don't want to bash on Winthrop at all, but you know, they cut up in the morning on the way home. I don't know if we can somehow put a do not enter restriction time limits on it, that they have to go down to the circle and then come up by over the shores to get to the train station, because that's what it is. They're just cutting down, trying to get out of Winthrop and get to the train station, or come up Bennington Street to get out of Winthrop. So I just ask you guys to really contact the Traffic Commission and just stress that it's a public safety
Whatever,
issue.
whatever the, whatever action has to be taken, I'm sure the chief will take it.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Councilor
Can I
McKenna.
just make a suggestion? Since we're going to paint the lines down there, maybe we could put something like, I know, instead of signage, but maybe something on the pavement that says slow children or...
I'll tell you
it
right now,
doesn't.
Richard was great. We had a conversation, and the next day, fluorescent green slow kids came up. What actually worked was he got a stop sign installed at the Webster and Crescent Ave, which made people start to slow down. Problem was, it was only on one side. It wasn't on the side coming from Cummins Park. Some neighborhood issues, but it's a public safety issue. The chief will tell you, I have emails from him when that was in place. The number of citations that were written in just a short time was a lot in his eyes. But you can put temporary stuff up, it's not going to work. You need permanent signage to slow these people down. It's almost a quarter of a mile. It's a dragway. You think a quarter of a mile.
Signage should not be a problem.
Yeah, so. All right, thank you.
Sir?
Ed DeVoe, 216 Crescent Ave. Regarding the traffic, I mean, I've been in there almost 40 years now. I remember back in the early 70s, there was a 6-year-old boy was killed by a car on that street. I don't want to see that happen again. And there are a lot more kids on that street now, and as been mentioned, the cars are just going faster and faster. And as Billy says, we're yelling at people all the time. If I had rocks, I'd be throwing them at cars, and I'd be in jail right now.
We don't want to do that.
It's that, no, I understand.
Well,
But-
the only way you address it is to put the signage up and put police down there periodically and write citations. That's the only way.
And that's what I wanted to recommend is beyond, because generally what happens is a police detail will be posted there for about a week or so. They'll ticket people. People will be, will get the message, and then the police go away and it starts all over again. What I suggest is that the city establish some sort of a program where they're there on alternate days on different weeks so that, over time, people get the idea that you never know when the policeman's going to be there and someone's going to get them. And going back to the sidewalks, signage, we need more signage there. I think we need crosswalks at every corner on that street. I think that's another thing that will probably make people pay more attention to it
That
as
shouldn't
well.
be hard to do either.
Yeah.
That should
Thank
be an
you.
easy thing. Call the next
Calendar item number 19, motion presented by Councilor McKenna that the mayor request the Traffic Commission to amend Schedule 8 of Title 10, parking restrictions generally, by removing the no parking anytime restriction on the easterly side of Victoria Street from Winthrop Avenue to Vinyl Street. In addition, that the DPW install no parking here-to-corner signage on Victoria Street at the corners of both Winthrop Avenue and Vinyl Street once the no parking anytime restriction is removed.
Councilor McKenna.
So I visited this Victoria Street, and what's going on is across the street they have the North Shore Mental Health Facility. Years ago, they put up some no parking signs on the eastern part of the Victoria Street. And I looked at all the other streets that are surrounding Victoria Street, and there's no parking. They have no parking on the eastern side of the street where the North Shore Mental Health is. The employees in that facility, they don't want to park in their parking lot because they have to juggle the cars out because there's no in and out. It's just one way. So they're parking in front of the residents where the residents can't even park in front of their own house. So they're forced to park where there's no parking and they're getting ticketed. So my suggestion is to send it to traffic, of course, but to remove those parking signs because the abutting street, Haddon Street and Lowell Street Place, and all those streets surrounding Victoria Street this is the only street that has no parking on the eastern side of the the street. So what I would suggest is they put a no parking sign from the corner to I don't know how many feet, and then remove the signs.
Thank you, Councilor
I think you have
McKenna.
someone who wants to speak too.
Hi,
I would have called this earlier if I knew this is what you were waiting to speak on.
That's okay. I've been a homeowner on Victoria Street for about 19 years, this coming July, and the street has gotten so congested with cars that taking the no parking signs off of across the street would greatly help us with the parking situation. If possible, no parking from the corner, maybe back 2 car lengths, just so the fire trucks can make the turn.
That would all have to be done through the Traffic Commission.
Okay.
It's a change in the traffic pattern. And this can be referred to the Traffic Commission, and Council McKenna can go before the Traffic Commission and state your case for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to congratulate Councilor McKenna on this motion. We've been fighting with North Suffolk for at least the 16 years that I've been on the council, to a point where I almost got in a fist fight down there one night. And they are just uncooperative. This is a case where they're not a good neighbor, and they abuse their privilege over there. So if this helps my friends over there on that street, and I agree with her suggestion that from here to corner has to come far down, so because no fire truck can make a turn down that street. God forbid there's a fire, everybody's gonna burn. So I congratulate you on this motion. I hope we get some action on it. I hope I'll come up and help you with the Traffic Commission. Hopefully they'll listen to us and get something done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor
Thank you,
Zambudo.
Councilor.
Councilor Reardon.
I'll be very brief. I remember before I was involved in city politics, at least as extensively as I am now, they built that, North Suffolk took that building over. It was a 3-family home. They took it over, they added the wing on, and they came up here. We had, unfortunately, because of the fact it's considered an educational facility, quote unquote, which is to me a huge stretch, it superseded our zoning ordinances. So really there was nothing much we could do about it, at least according to the city solicitor at the time, and I believe that's the case now. But one thing I will tell you, North Suffolk absolutely swore that they would never allow their employees to park anywhere other than on their own property. And that went out, that disappeared completely, and they don't care. And that just goes to show you how good promises that aren't enforceable are, that they're not, and they should be ashamed. They should be ashamed of themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Reardon. Ma'am.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I didn't want to bring it up. Now that it's already brought up tonight, I got home from work and parked on the sidewalk because there was no place to park. There were 2 vehicles parked in front of my house from North Suffolk Mental Health. One, I know for a fact, is one of the workers there because I've had to ask her numerous times to move back or pull forward so I could fit. Another person, it's a new Volvo that's there. I don't know if she's a worker or whatever, but I came downstairs to move it so I wouldn't get tagged and asked her if she was pulling out, and she said no. And I said, well, you know, they do have a lot in the back no one ever uses. And she said, well, I'm not a patient, so I don't need to park there. Okay. Those are the answers.
This is going to Traffic Commission.
Mr. President, if I could possibly suggest a friendly amendment to this problem, it seems to me that, and I'm not a big fan of it, but resident parking only may solve this problem, because the people who are parking are not the people who live there, the people who work there. And perhaps we could consider making resident parking only on the left-hand side might solve the problem, because actually that'd solve a couple of problems. It'd solve the Little League problem as well, if it ever becomes a Little League park again, which is another whole issue. But that used to be a problem as well. When Little League was there, people would park on Victoria Street. It seems to me that, again, I'm not a big fan of it, but this seems to me resident parking only would be excellent on that side of the street.
That's something that the Councilor
just saying.
McKenna can suggest at the hearing. Councilor Patch?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. As you know, my family's owned a house there since 1940 on Victoria Street. I grew up on Victoria Street, and my sister still lives there with her family. I agree with Councilor Reardon. I know he has reason to know that area very well too. it'd be, parking on both streets now, it's going to be very difficult, both sides of the street. It's going to be very difficult for a fire engine or somebody to get down that street. I mean, the residential, to me, is the way to go. Well, right, if they let you do that, it's... Right, but that house has been a problem. My father owned the house. I can remember he was furious, but there's nothing the city could do. I mean, they just could do whatever they want. And you know, I'll help you in any way you want. I can, and I just want you to know that. Parking on both sides, though, leaves a very narrow area there. Okay.
Thank you, Councilor Patch. And calendar items number 18 and...
Mr. President, if I may, just one suggestion. I don't know how you want to handle this, whether we want to make an add-on to this. But, you know, maybe it's time to bring the supervisor up or someone from North Suffolk here and throw all this stuff at them. You know, and, you know, I don't know if you want to make a separate motion or you want to tie it into Joanne, you know, Councilor McKenna's motion.
I'd say let's make it a separate.
We make a separate motion? Can I do that after we vote on this?
Yeah.
Make it verbal?
On 18 and 19, all in favor, so ordered.
Mr. President, if I may, on behalf of, with Councilor McKenna, that we send a letter to North Suffolk Mental Health to discuss the parking situation at their Victoria Street property. This way we can talk to them and see if we can work something out.
Thank you, Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you.
Calendar item number 20, call please.
Calendar item number 20.
Mr. President?
In that motion.
You know, second. Can we have a vote on that, please?
All in favor, so ordered.
Calendar item number 20, motion presented by Councilor McKenna that the mayor request the Traffic Commission to amend Schedule 9 of Title 10, resident parking, by adding City Hall parking rear lot overnight from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Councilor McKenna.
I got a couple of calls from the residents of Pleasant Street. What's happened is they used to park in front of the old police station, and they lost all that parking, plus they lost the parking where they put the new entrance and on both sides of both parking lots. So now they have no parking. And what's happening is they have, you know, they're duplex apartments. So they're getting ticketed because there's a parking sign that they can't park from 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. and they're parking there, and so they're getting ticketed. So I talked to Chris Giannino, Officer Giannino, and he said that if we gave them permanent parking and you guys could change the signage, that maybe they could park from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with a resident parking sticker on the back lot, which holds 7 parking spaces. And also, I just want to say, in behalf of the residents, that they endured the dust and the dirt when the building got knocked down, and they didn't get any letters stating at the time that this was going to happen. So they endured a lot of dirt in their house, a lot of dust, and a lot of commotion. So I think we owe it to them to give them resident parking.
Thank you, Councilor McKenna. Councilor Hess?
Thank you. I think this is a good motion here. I think what we should do is amend the signage on our parking lot to the back to include longer parking areas, because they did take away a lot of the residential parking. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hess. Councilor, read 21. Yeah, I will. Motion.
Calendar item number 21, motion presented by Councilor Patch that the mayor request the DPW, city engineer, and/or CDM Smith to facilitate the repair of the trench on the property located at 628 Malden Street. The trench was dug in relation to the construction of the Goldie Street pump station. The attempted repair of the trench is an eyesore and is uneven, posing a risk to those who walk along on the driveway of said premises. It's been several months since the completion of the project, and CDM has yet to return to repair the trench in the driveway.
Councilor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've been trying for months now to get the contractor back down there to fix this trench. It goes all the way up to his stairways in the back, and it's a public safety hazard, and plus it looks terrible. As you know, in my next motion, I have another problem with CTM. But, you know, we pay them a lot of money to fix these projects, and they should be held responsible if there's work that wasn't done right to come back and fix it. Now, I spoke to both Bob Buttons tonight and Nick, our engineer, and I think I might be making some progress, but I thought that before. So this has been an ongoing issue, and you know, I'd like to see it get completed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Pash. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Calendar item number 22, motion presented by Councilor Patch that the mayor request the DPW, city engineer, and/or CDM Smith to facilitate the repair of the wiring for the light pole at 7 Marshview Terrace. National Grid has inspected the pole on multiple occasions, and the power for the pole is coming from the wiring underground at the pump station on Marshview Terrace.
Councilor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, this was repair work that was done on a pumping station on Marshview Terrace. The homeowner at 7 Marshview Terrace had a light on his pole out front of his house. He had National Grid come down twice, and they both told him that it was the light was fine. It's just the wiring, the power comes from the pumping station. I also had a person from National Grid go down, and he told me that was true. That was the problem. That it's the wire. Whoever did the contract, whoever did the job in the pumping station, either cut the wire, then hook up the wire, or I don't know what he didn't do, but he didn't. The light don't work. You know, it does create a public safety problem there. They have coyotes, and it gets very dark, and they're very concerned, the residents on the street. So, again, I've made this problem, these people aware of this problem, and I wish they'd correct it a little faster than they normally do. We'll try anyways. Again, that's why I'm making it into a motion. Thank you.
Councilor Patch's motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Calendar item number 23, motion presented by Councilor Guanasso that the mayor request the Traffic Commission to install a handicap sign in front of 60 Davis Street. The homeowner has a handicap placard issued by the RMV, and the premises does not have a driveway.
Thank you, Mr. President. Certainly, I wish the Traffic Commission would meet as soon as possible, and many of the items that were mentioned earlier this evening. But this, and for one, is that to help this resident at 60 Davis Street to get the relief that she certainly needs. It's a service that's well regarded, and she needs it for that area, but based strictly on the fact that she does not have a driveway. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Guanasso. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Calendar item number 24, motion presented by Councilor Powers that the mayor direct inspectional services to investigate the conditions at the following properties: 241 Rice Ave for deplorable conditions, overgrown hedges and grass; 17 Archer Ave for deplorable conditions, possible vacant property; and the bottom of Harris Street at Beach Street, hedges are overgrown, blocking the sidewalk and limiting the visibility of traffic entering onto Beach Street.
The first one, 241 Rice Avenue, it's overgrown with weeds. It's in a deplorable condition. It's owned by a bank, and I've asking that the inspectional services go down and ticket them. send in a private landscaper, clean the property up, and then lien the property, because it's been like that for, well, we had it done last year, it's that way again. 17 Archer Ave, I'm not sure that anybody's even living in that house. That's, whole area needs to be cleaned up so that the residents down there can have some sort of pride in their neighborhood. It's, you know, when everybody takes pride in their neighborhood and you have one area in a building that is deplorable, it makes the whole area look bad, really. And the other situation is when you come down Harris Street onto Beach Street, your vision is blocked going onto Beach Street. It's very dangerous, and I think whoever owns that property should be made to cut those hedges back and clean that out once and for all. Again, we had the same problem last year. We had to address it, and it creates a very dangerous situation. So I'm asking that the Inspectional Services Department address this as quickly as possible. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Calendar item number 25, motion presented by Councilor Novoselsky that the mayor request the MBTA to repair the sidewalk on the Shirley Avenue Bridge to include 3 concrete sidewalk panels. This motion is being made in the interest of public safety.
Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this is a situation that's developed, believe it or not, over the last 15 years. When they did the bridge, everything is settled on either side of the bridge, and it is MBTA property. So I would hope that we can get MBTA down there to put in new concrete panels as soon as possible. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Councilor Hess.
Also, in the same vein, the roadway needs some filling in with some asphalt, if they can have a friendly amendment.
Thank you, Councilor Hess. Yep, add on to it. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Late motion presented by Councilors Powers, Arrigo, and Hass that the mayor request the DPW to take the following actions regarding the play area on Ambrose Street: remove the broken equipment and graffiti, replace the broken fence, and add a substantial amount of mulch to the play area.
Councilor Hass.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ambrose Park is deplorable, needs immediate attention. I spoke to Paula Genzio late this afternoon. He informed me they're going to take some corrective action. They sent the senior corps down there today to start the cleanup of the glass and debris. He's going to continue that. And he indicated to me once the budget's passed, the second week of July, they have ordered 154 ton of the, what do they call that? Safety
mulch. Safety mulch. Yeah.
Mulch, and they have a playground they're going to bring in from another area. So we're making progress on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hass. Councilor Arrigo.
Thank you, Councilor Powers, and I want to thank Councilor Hass for the update. I know this, the Ambrose Park has been in disrepair for quite a while, and we've heard from residents out in the area about cleaning it up and getting it to a condition where the kids can enjoy it. And it's good to hear that there's already some action being taken. Thank you.
Thank you. I had occasion to go down to the Ambrose Park myself, and it's the mulch. It needs to be sifted down there. What's there now? Some of the sand. There's little pieces of glass. There's a piece of broken equipment, and it's amazed that no child has been injured on that yet. And what we're suggesting is get some mulch in there, pull out the bad equipment, fix the fencing, and get it all done so when the kids go down there to play this summer, after July 4th, they'll be able to play in safety. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Late motion presented by Councilor McKenna that the mayor request the Department of Conservation and Recreation to reline the crosswalks from Elliott Circle to the Winthrop line on Winthrop Parkway. The crosswalks are barely visible.
Councilor McKenna.
So Elliott Circle, I don't know if everybody knows where it is, but it's the beginning of the beach, and the crosswalks from Elliott Circle to the Winthrop line, you can't even see them. So I'm just asking the DCR to reline them.
Thank you, Councilor McKenna. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered. There's no further business. This council will stand adjourned until July 27th unless there is a need for a earlier meeting. Thank you, my colleagues, and I wish everyone a happy and a safe summer and a happy 4th of July. Thank you.